4, it's Miss Crompton here. This week our activity is going to be to write a story. Now, you can be as silly with these stories as you like. It could be a short story or it could be a couple of pages long, so you can make it as long as you like. First of all, there are going to be 4 parts to our story. You need to choose a main character, you need to choose a setting, you need to decide on a problem or a main event, and you need the resolution and the ending. Now, before we get started, I need you to go and get a scrap piece of paper and a pen and tear up loads of little pieces of paper. Off you go. Okay, now with all your pieces of paper, this is how we make our stories quite funny. We are going to come up with lots of main different characters. It could be a little girl, a little boy, a spy, go-go gadget, it could be a superhero, could be even a tortoise that is on a mission to save the day. We're going to make a list, but we're going to write them on individual pieces of paper. We're going to do exactly the same for a setting. They could be in Iceland, they could be on a volcano, they could be on a secret mission in the desert. Your problem and main event, it could be that someone needs saving, or it's a burglary and at a bank that needs to be saved, or an adventure, or the superhero needs to save the day. It could be absolutely, and there could be a volcano explosion and they need to solve the problem. And this links in quite nicely to our resolution and our ending. How are they going to save the day? Are you going to be able to incorporate lots of fronted adverbials to make your writing really exciting? Saying, suddenly the hero did this, or slowly they creeped up to the baddie and saved the day. Now, you can pause the video in a second. I'm going to write down lots of ideas, but make sure if you want your story to be funny, write them on an individual piece of paper, and then you're going to randomly choose one from each section to make up your silly story in a second. Come back in a second and I'll have lots of ideas ready for us. Okay, so hopefully you have lots of ideas written down. Now these are just a couple of mine, and I quickly thought them off the top of my head. So my main characters, it could be a spy child, a superhero dog, a giraffe detective, a dragon, or a Lego character that's come to life. The settings, they could be at a volcano, a mountain, in a capital city like New York. Remember, New York is a proper noun, so they have capital letters. They could be in space, they could be in Jurassic Park, made in a video game, in a haunted house, or a pirate ship. Now, the problem and main event, it could be anything. Someone's been kidnapped, cats are taking over the world, a dragon wakes up in 2022 and doesn't know what to do, or the Queen's crown has been stolen. And the resolution, now it depends which ones you choose, but I thought you could either save the day, make a new friend, become famous, or for example, you become best buds with the Queen if you save her crown. Now, without thinking about it, I'm going to really quickly circle a couple of things. So if you have your different options on scrap pieces of paper, you could pull them out of a hat and it could create your storyline for you. So I know my main character is a dragon. It's set in New York. He wakes up in 2022 and might cause a problem, and then he becomes famous. So can you see it structured my story? Now, depending on if you want a short story or if you want to write a paragraph each day, this could actually take you 4 days to write. Because we want to introduce our character really well. We want to cover things like what they look like, what their hobbies are, and what they're feeling. We'd like to use lots of conjunctions. Remember our subordinating and coordinating conjunctions, explaining why they're feeling the way they're feeling. Using emotive language. Don't use words like sad. Use distraught. You can use a thesaurus to help you if you like. When you move on to your setting, really describe it. If you're in a haunted house, how can you make it sound as scary as possible? Your main event, now this is where you might have to have more detail, maybe write 2 paragraphs, depending on what you write about. And then your resolution and ending could be your 4th day of writing. So, your task this week, write a story. It could be as silly or as crazy as you want it to be. Let your imagination go absolutely wild. Really focus on your handwriting and think how neat can you make it. Remember your capital letters and full stops, because I reckon we've forgotten a little bit about that. And if you're super proud of it, drop it an email to the office and I'll have a little read. I hope you have fun. Bye bye.